you love video games? Yeah, me too. Well, video games seem to be something fun thing to do. Like games that you can play being an adventure, games you can actually that looks almost like real life, games that you can build whatever you imagine. All that fun stuff. Well, but somehow that there actually might have been some sad times that some video games that we all know and love do not actually work anymore, and they are no longer exist. So today, since Toy Story 5 is coming out 2 years later, we'll be counting down the top 7 extinct video games. Before we jump into the top 7, make sure to hit that bell and hit that subscribe button and turn on notification button so when we upload new videos. So we're gonna jump right into this top 7. Number 7, The Sims 1. Released in 2000, The Sims 1 was considered as one of the most best games on PC. And when it first was released, it got very popular, with themes around life simulation. And life simulation is about where you can control the life of around the people. And you can decorate a house, you can build a house, and you can actually create your own person. And it's kind of pretty cool to do. And you can actually it's pretty cool to make your own sim to look like more like a movie character, just like what they're doing now on The Sims 4. Well, sadly, this game was completely shut down in 2003 to make room for more Sims sequel like The Sims 2, Sims 3, and finally The Sims 4, just like we all know today. So it basically means that The Sims legacy still lives on today. Number 6, Stupid Invaders. Based off the cartoon, Stupid Invaders was a PC game released in the 2000s and a clone released in Dreamcast. Well, and it became a very popular game way back when it first released. And unlike the cartoon, which was very family friendly, the game version was completely very graphic and it was full of sexual scenes due to its rating. Well, it does kind of look like it's like a kid's game, sort of, and it's probably like you already remember of the something that's already been done before, like HTF or DHMS. And I will probably cover DHMS for the top 7 scary movies for kids, part 2 or something. So let's get it back. Stupid Invaders falls around the group of aliens who wants to stop humanity. And although this game kind of sounds fun, and unfortunately this game was shut down in 2003, and you also may recognize this game with the singing fish meme, and as you remember that this character sounds familiar to an Inside Out character, and if you look at it, he does kind of look more like Anxiety, because come on, man, did Pixar take the renders of the characters and give it to Anxiety? Well, that's how it got planned for this game. Number 5, Parappa the Rapper. Released in 1995, this game was pretty much like Friday Night Funkin' in the 90s. And if you see the gameplay, it's basically the same as Friday Night Funkin', except it's a more 90s one. And you have to keep pressing like all the buttons to rap out very good. There are like a lot of levels, and even it's like an adventure. It's almost like an adventure almost. And although for now, if I could see it nowadays that this game didn't really sell good for nowadays, and even this game also got a sequel as well. Well, sadly, this game got pulled off in 2010, and to make room for which was nowadays we got is Friday Night Funkin' now. So I don't really see this game think that this game wasn't even for kids after all. Like, it was probably like, seems like this is like an adult game nowadays. Number 4, Pac-Man World. Released in 1999, Pac-Man World was one of the popular games in the whole world in the 90s. And it also gained up a lot of sequels, Pac-Man 2 and Pac-Man 3 on the Xbox One. Well, it's pretty nostalgia all the time, and you can get to catch a lot of ghosts like we do, just like what you do on the original Pac-Man. But sadly, this series was completely forgotten for today, and nobody had ever beat it for a long time. So it's sad to see this series go. Number 3, the Jack games. I actually never had played it, but I actually just saw the footages when I was like in middle school. So, the Jack games was like a very nostalgic game when it first came out, and it sprung up with a number of sequels with Jack 2 and Jack 3. And sadly, no number 4 being on the works. So, it's about this elf guy who teams up with this orange guy, and he goes around all those adventures by fighting off all these alien-like creatures. Like, thinking about something like this, like Men in Black a little bit. It's a little bit like that, except in an ancient times. And although this game was completely lost and forgotten, and no one had never get to play it in the new years, so probably that this game was fondly remembered. Number 2, Finding Nemo on the GameCube. Oh, I actually play this when I was a kid. And especially nowadays, it looks kind of outdated from now on. And it's probably, the game is basically based on the movie, and you're playing as Mimo, and you can also play as one of his parents too. And then you can also play as Dory as well, and unfortunately, even Finding Dory didn't even have a GameCube game after all. So you're doing like puzzles, and you have to get around everything, around like all the scenes that you from the movie. Well, sadly, this game got pulled out, and it was long and forgotten. Well, I could see now that it wasn't even forgotten after all. That many people had remembered this. And now it's time for Horrible Moments. Conker's Bad Fur Day. Considering this one being on the list of movies that terrorize kids, this game could be kind of a little bit frightening for kids. And even they also gave them on Christmas or something, and they thought it looks like a kid's game. So, and a lot of kids decided to play this, and they had broke the rule very easily because of how it looks. First of all, it does kind of look like it may be for like something for kids, but it wasn't actually not. It might be like the exact opposite, kind of like, you know, like HTF or DHMS, except with bad language and a lot of blood, like the ones shown in HTF. Even HTF doesn't have any cursing because the characters don't talk or anything. Well, it's fondly remembered, and PewDiePie also played it, so if you're a fan of PewDiePie, make sure to check out this game. And finally, on number 1, we have LVP. Here we go with the big one, which became a meme sensation later on. LVP is probably like a game series, and it also evolved with sequels like LVP 2, LVP 3, and a spin-off one, Cyborg Big Adventure, and which is the one we end up got. Well, this is like a one of the most popular games we all know, and it overfills the nostalgia of the game. You can actually publish levels, you can actually create your own levels like on the moon, and even you can play story mode, which is the best one. Or even play one of the DLC packs, or buy one, because all these costumes and all these packs are very cheap. So definitely call that. And they also, since that some people can't afford to buy costumes, some people had a brilliant idea of modding them and make them all free. And sadly, it went to a fade until when the John guy shows up, decided to DDoS the game, resulting a downfall of it. Well, however, this is not the end of LP since the game went back up in 2021 on September. Well, it actually lasted for like just over about 3 years. Then until another modder shows up, Sony has announced that this game is shutting down for good. Well, it's probably kind of sad that now a lot of people are now playing with private services now. So we all pretty much hoping for a 4th installment to happen. So Sony, just make it happen. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time.